Hi, good morning. It's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine, and I am here with a live Tea and Techniques video this morning. So thanks for tuning in, whether you are going to catch me live here in a minute or catch the replay or watch it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I just want to share the card I'm going to be stamping today. I'm going to show a masking technique, and then I'm going to show you how I did these flowers with the Flowers of Friendship bundle. So this is brand new in the new 2021-2022 annual catalog. So here's the stamp set, and this is a punch bundle. So here's the punch, and it's actually a 4-in-1, so you get a large flower and a small flower, and then a small leaf and a large leaf. So I had this idea in my head kind of as soon as I saw the new In Colors. And good morning, Janine. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Mother's Day. So the In Colors are 5 In Colors. They're actually over my head right here. So we've got going left to right over my head. I'll go Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So there's 3 colors and 2 greens. Well, there's 5 colors, but you get it, right? There's 3 that are kind of more like flowers, and then there's the 2. So I did the 3 flowers in the purple, pink, and papaya, and then I did the stamping in the evergreen, but the leaves are the succulent. So yeah, this is my project for today. And if you have the catalog, on page 78 is where the bundle is. And let me take my fingers out of the way. So it's kind of like a thank you for the sentiments. But what I really want to focus on and mention before I flip my camera down is that the stamps themselves, there's so many opportunities because the flowers, it's a line art stamp, so you can color it in so many different ways. And I'll do another video in the future and show some of the different coloring techniques. So you could do like watercolor pencils, blends. You could color the flowers with blending brushes. You can color the flowers with the sponge dauber. There are so many possibilities. You can stamp the flowers on colored cardstock with like just black ink and punch them out. And you could also stamp right on the designer series paper and punch out. So I'll probably do a future video on this bundle some point. But since it's Mother's Day, I wanted to do something flowers. And since it's been so beautiful here lately, we've had some up and down days, but everything is in bloom. Like outside, all the trees are in bloom and all the flowers. So anyways, for the moms, I lost my mom quite a long time ago. So yeah, yesterday would have been her birthday, so I miss her a lot. So doing this card today. Okay, here we go. I'm putting the camera down. Okay, so I want to find myself in my feed to make sure I'm here. Oh, I can see myself already, so that's a good sign. So again, here is the stamp set, Flowers of Friendship. And here's the card. And I want to show you how I did the flower, and then I want to show you how I masked off the stamps. This is going to be a pretty short video. And then again, here's a look at the punch. So we've kind of had a stressful week here, so that's why I just wanted to come on today and do a quick video. I know it's Mother's Day, so I figured I might not have a lot of people watching live. But let's do the stamping first because there's not really a ton of stamping on this card. I masked the flowers with the stem. So this is going to be like the hardest part of the whole card because I'm going to use Post-it notes. So I'm just going to bring over, and I didn't measure these, but I have some kind of long, this is the size, so there may be like 1 by 2, maybe 1.5 by 2.5 actually. So what I'm going to do is just mask off my flower. So kind of here where the flower meets the stem, that's kind of where I want to capture it. And make sure they're on there. So the first step is to put your Post-it notes on. For some reason, these do not want to cooperate with me right now. This one, I'm going to do this one first over here. The one over here is hard because this leaf is pretty close. So just take your time, and I don't know why these things are not sticking. Of course they stuck when I did this earlier, but now when I'm live, they don't want to stick. So, well, maybe I don't have the sticky side. My husband's on the phone in the other room, so it's distracting me. So that is the sticky side. Okay, I'm gonna try the yellow ones because I did this earlier and I used the yellow ones, I think. So, wow. Okay, I might have to grab some washi tape. And I think I have some in my caddy here. But I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna hope and pray for the best that this works. Okay, I'm gonna bring over my evening evergreen and kind of go for it. Well, that one doesn't want to stay. So, none of them want to stay. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm going for it, so we'll see. Okay, it's actually not bad at all, considering I just had all those technical difficulties with my Post-its. So you can use washi tape, and I probably should have just tried washi tape to cover up, but pretty much I just wanted the flowers. I didn't want the flowers on this piece of white. And this is the Scalloped Contours Dies. So it's 3.5 by 4 3/4, but if you don't have this, you could just use a rectangle too. That would totally be fine. But I want to show you how I did the flowers. So what I did is I did 2 earlier, so you wouldn't have to see me punch out and try to layer them all up and curl them. So let me stamp the sentiment too while I said I would do all the stamping. Okay, sorry, probably not my best video today. So for the sentiment, it's little card, big thanks, and I just did fresh freesia. I'm still trying to figure out what's my favorite color. I'm going with fresh freesia this week. Seems to be my new favorite in color. So this was just a tiny piece of basic white that is 1 by 1 3/4. So I'm just gonna put that to the side and come do my punching for my fresh freesia. So what I did, this is the 12 by 12 In Color Shimmer Vellum. So one side has a shimmery look, then the other side is flat. So I cut them down into 1.5 inch strips, and then that way I can put it right into my punch. And make sure I'm covering everything, and then just punch out. So I actually want to punch out 2 large and 2 small. And then I'm just going to punch my flowers too. I'm sorry if the camera shakes a little bit. And see, this is going to happen. You're going to kind of get it stuck in there. So just try to take the pieces out that you can get out. You might have to use your take your pick tool or some snips to get some of the other pieces out. Then I'm going to come down and do my small, 2 small. So you can probably get a 1.5 by 6. Would probably do the 2 large and the 2 small. See, I have a piece stuck there by the leaf, so I'm just going to come over with my take your pick tool and get it out of there. These punches are actually pretty sharp, so this is a great example. I can kind of pull it out or put it upside down to shake some pieces out. So I got to do 1 more small. Okay, now I can do my leaves, which are going to be, and see, I have a little bit left. I could probably get another small one out of this guy. So get all my pieces out of there that are excess. And I'm gonna come over, I don't know if you guys can see these, sorry. I'll move them down a little bit more. 1.5 again for my soft succulent, and I'm just gonna come over and do the leaves. So I just need 1 large. And I'm doing shimmer vellum side up. So if you have this punch, and you can, oh, thanks so much, Jane. It's distracting because he's on the phone about, we have a sick relative right now, so he's on the phone talking about it, and I can kind of, he's on speakerphone so I can hear him. And of course it's Mother's Day, so we had hoped to visit today, but we're going to delay our visit hopefully next week. Okay, so I've got 1, and you can kind of move the punch and get 2 if you move it kind of on its side. But anyways, you get the gist. You're gonna get some excess pieces. I'm just really looking for the leaves, and I'm trying to do it so I don't get a ton of waste, because of course this vellum is so pretty, I don't want to waste it at all. Okay, so I've got all my pieces. Let me bring it back into the shot so you can kind of see better. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make these flowers, and oh, the cards are over my shoulder and I could grab one, but I did make some cards that only had 1 large and 1 small. Let me just grab one really quick. And they are super cute. This is with 1 large and 1 small. But see, when you do 4, 2 large and 2 small, it's just so much more of kind of like a full flower that you can fluff up more. So I definitely think it's worth to do a couple more punches and get the fuller flower. So let me show you. What I want to do is curl all these pieces. So I'm going to pick up the shimmer side and flip it over. So I want shimmer down. I want my bone folder, and I'm just going to kind of hold it in the middle and give it a little bit of a like 1, 2, 3 pull on my bone folder going around. And it's going to curl the edges a little bit. So I'm just going to repeat that step. So shimmer down. And you kind of want to go gentle because I don't want to rip the flower. This is vellum, so it's a little bit thinner to work with. So I want to get those the way I like them. So it does take a little bit to make this card, and of course the sentiment is little card, big thanks. So I think it packs a little wow factor. I put the opals in the middle, the opal rounds that carried over, because they're a little bit shimmery, and I thought that paired well with the vellum. And I'll give you a close-up of the vellum. So now I kind of got those kind of curled a little bit, so that didn't take too long. I'm going to flip them over, add a little bit of Seal Plus. My back of the thing just went flying. Okay, so I might have to just kind of get this. With the Seal Plus, there's no, you don't see the adhesive through. So it's really great for the vellum. I'm just going to do all 3. And I'll wait to do my leaves for a minute. And then I'm just going to offset them, going around. And then I can fluff them up a little bit. After I get my opals on, I kind of fluffed. So that's how I did the flowers. So I did 1 in polished pink, 1 in pale papaya, and 1 in fresh freesia. And I didn't mention when I was stamping, but of the 5 new colors that I just got over the past couple weeks, my my polished pink ink pad was really, really stiff. So when I went to open it the first time, I think it was yesterday, so we had to kind of bang it on the table to get it to open, and then to close it I kind of had to bang it on the table the other way to kind of loosen it up. So when you get your new ink pads, just try to open and close them a couple times, just because they're really stiff. This is fresh freesia, and I've used this one a little bit, but they are a little stiff. So my recommendation is try to like kind of open and close them and slide them to kind of loosen them up a little bit. I wanted to mention that since we're all kind of using new ink pads. Okay, so I want to just put these to the side and kind of get my placement for my flowers. So what I want to do is, I did pink in the middle. You can do whatever makes you happy here, but I want to make sure like I'm kind of near the stem and the stem's not kind of going over. So what I did is I ended up doing the sides first and then I did the pink after in the middle. But before I do that, I want to put on my leaves. So I want shimmer down so I could put adhesive on the back of these little guys. I think this one's already shimmer down. Okay. I'm just going to continue with seal and put a little tiny bit. So this stuff actually comes out in kind of like little tiny strips. So when I put the white on, I'll show you. I'll try to give you a close-up. So I was using the regular seal. I kind of do like the Seal Plus. You just gotta, when you put it to your card, it's pretty permanent. So there's no like moving stuff around. Let me do the large one first. And it goes like this. So I did stamp it in Evening Evergreen, but I'm putting the Soft Succulent over, so it's kind of, you can kind of see the darker through the light, which that's kind of the look I was going for here. So, whoops, that one's backwards. And if they're not perfect, I think it's totally fine. One of mine before was not totally perfect either. And here I have a little bit of an ink smudge, so hopefully I can cover that up with the flower. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna do the edges first. So I'm just gonna go for it. Seal Plus on the back of my flower, and if you cover up some of the leaves, that's totally fine. It's a flower, so flowers cover up some of the leaves in the real world, right? So there we go. And then I'm gonna wait to put the opals on to the end, but let me show you the other pieces of the card. Oh, a chapstick or candle on the sides of the case to lubricate them works really well. Oh, I never heard that before. That is a great tip. Thank you, Janine. So this is a 3 3/4 by 5 piece of basic white, and I just embossed it with the Ornate Floral embossing folder. And I need to talk a little faster. My computer's dying, so hopefully if I lose my computer, I'll still be able to be live on my iPad here. Okay, so I'm just gonna layer this up. And I am gonna smush a little just to get the adhesive on here. And let me show you. I'm gonna try to do a close-up. Hopefully you guys can see it. This seal kind of comes out in kind of like little lines. And this is a Seal Plus, I should say. So I really found that the Seal Plus, I'm actually liking it a little bit better than the regular seal. And if you're struggling with it, it's a really light touch. So I don't know, you need to kind of practice, and it's a really light touch is probably like my best tip I can give you. So I'm like really loosey-goosey holding it with like 2 to 3 fingers, and then kind of just giving it a slide, a gentle slide after. You might have to kind of sort of get it to go again. So I'm just gonna put this down in the corner, going right to the edge of my embossed layer. Trying not to cover up too much. So this is actually like a super simple card. It's taken me almost 20 minutes to show you, but I had some issues in the beginning with the Post-it notes. So I just want to bring over the opal rounds. I'm going to use 3 of the larger ones. So I'm just going to move them. Whoops, I moved it right onto the card. I don't like to pick them up with my fingers. So Whoops, that one lost its adhesive, so that's a goner. Oh, I see the adhesive on the transfer sheet still. Okay, so you can slide them off. And I can kind of sort of put them into place with my fingernail. It's pretty good. It's hard because the sizes are barely different. Like this is the larger and this is the smaller. And to me, looking quickly, they look pretty similar. So once I kind of get these guys on here, I'm done. But now I can fluff a little bit with my flowers to kind of give it a 3D look. And it's super, super cute. So I'll give you a kind of a close-up on my blog at christinestamps.blogspot.com. But I want to mention a couple other things while I'm here, is that I do have a ordering special going this week from my new catalog launch that was on Friday. So it's going to go through Friday, May 14th, 2021. And for that, I am doing 4 cards, and I actually might throw this one in too as an extra, so it might be 5 cards. I like this card so much. So I might sweeten the pot here and say 5 cards and add this one here that we just made. So this is card number 1. Here's card number 2, where I used some of the same products, but brought in some designer series paper. This is card 3. This is card 4, and then this is card 5. So the ordering special is host code DHUGJPZZ, and I'll put that in the below. So if you spend $35 on that host code by the end of the night on May 14th, you'll get 5 cards, and it's just the make and takes. So you're going to get all the pieces cut out. You're going to get, for this one, the pearls, metallic pearls. And you'll still have to provide your ink and your stamps and your adhesive to put these together. So they'll just be the card packets. So if you spend $35, you'll just get the cut cards with all the pieces punched and die cut for you. And if you spend $50 on that host code, you'll get a free set of the metallic pearls. So that is my ordering special for this week for the new catalog launch. And I'm going to bring my camera back up at my face. Okay, that's much better. So I'm also designing a seashells stamp camp for May. So I'm going to have that out to my mailing list in the next couple days. So look for that. And if you're not on my mailing list, I'll put the link in this description if you want to join. So that's it for me for this week. I hope you have a great Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I will be back next week with another project to share.